Welcome to the second session of Lab Online. I'm Wen Yun. Last session, Mei-Shen talked about osmosis, which is about the water molecule moving to one place to another due to the difference of water potential. So what are we going to learn today? Today, we are going to learn about concentration. So if you are new to concentration, no worries. Please leave your questions into the comment section. So today, we are going to cover a few topics such as components of solutions, different level of concentration, concentration itself, and last, mass spectrometry. So let us start our session with the easiest one. So what is the difference between solute, solvent, and solution? On the slide, solution is the mixture of the solvent and solute. And what exactly is a solute and solvent? So solvent is the substance that gets dissolved, whereas solvent is the substance that dissolves the solute. So for example, today we're going to have sugar, coffee, condensed milk as the solute, and the solvent we have will be the water. So let us watch a very short video from BBC Bite-Size Video that talks about the dissolving process. Here you go.
Great! I'm a bit parched. Some substances dissolve when you mix them with water, like sugar or jelly or salt. Well, that's gross. It looks like it's disappeared, but it's still there. It's just mixed with the water to make a transparent liquid called a solution. A substance that is able to dissolve in water is known as soluble. Oh, that can't have tasted good. However, when you mix other substances with water, they don't dissolve. These are called insoluble substances. They just stay the same in the water and sink to the bottom, like sand. You can see the sand in the water, so nobody would drink that. Ah, that is just disgusting.
From the video just now, the triangle in the middle just now drank 2 cups of water. So the first cup of water actually have the soluble solute, whereas the second one actually contains insoluble solutes. So solubility of the solute actually depends on the solvent that we use. So that's why we're going to learn about the solubility in the future sessions, but we need to understand that the solubility depends on the solvent. So throughout today's sessions, we are going to use the universal solvent, which is the water, for today's sessions. So all right, let us move on to the next, which is the levels of the concentration. So there are different levels of concentration from dilute, concentrated to saturated. So you can see that for the dilute solution, it has relatively less solute when it's compared to the concentrated one, and the concentrated one will have more solute. So how about the saturated one? Does it have more solute? Yes, it has more solute until it is more than enough for it to dissolve. That's why it has excess solute. So let me show you the different levels of concentration now. So here you go. Can you see? There are 3 cups of water with the same amount of water. The volume are the same, but this time I'm going to make different levels of concentration from dilute, concentrated, and last saturated. So here comes our solute of the day, which is the sugar. The table sugar that we use every day for food, for dessert, or sometimes to improve our flavor in our cooking. So for the first one, dilute solution, I'm just going to put very, very little of the sugar. I'm just going to put like half of the sugar. Here you go. And the next one, I'm going to put 1 full spoon of the sugar. Yes, here you go. And the last one for saturated, I'm going to put 5 scoops of the sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot. Before we go into next, I'm going to give it a little bit of mixing. So for the dilute one, 10 seconds of dissolving. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the second one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a little bit hot because I put some warm water. And the last one, which having the 5 scoop of sugar, that's a lot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. I complete the mixing. And let me show you, this dilute one has no solute can be seen. And the concentrated one, also nothing to be seen. And the last one, which having the 5 scoop of sugar, there's so much left. So again, this visualize the dilute, concentrated, and saturated solution. All right, are you guys ready? So since we have gone through different terms of solution and concentration, it's time for some refresher. So I'm a loyal fan of Ribena solution because I love the black currant flavor. So I will make up a Ribena solution whenever I feel like it. So can you tell me from this slide, what is the solute, the solvent, as well as the solution? So you have 5 seconds and let's give it a bit of thinking. So 3, 2, 1. So have you guessed it? So the solute will be the Ribena concentrate, which is on the left. And the middle one, the cold water, will be the solvent. And once I mix the Ribena concentrate into the cold water, it will become my favorite drink, Ribena solution. So now you know my favorite drink already. Would you mind share your favorite drink in the comment sections? So next. Other than the Ribena solution, it also contains a few concentration level that we can know about. So on the left and on the right, can you identify which one is a dilute and which one is the concentrated Ribena solution? And last, tell me, which one do you like? So 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So the one on the left with the light purple will be the dilute one, and the one on the right with the darker purple will be the concentrated Ribena solution. I love the one on the right because it's sweeter and nicer, but dilute one, maybe I will try out next time. But again, a few tricks that you can tell from this case is the higher concentrated one means that it have more solute within the same amount of the solution. That's why it appears darker in purple, whereas the dilute Ribena having less solute appear less purple or light purple. So from here, I believe you guys can identify solution and concentration better now. Yes. So how does concentration make a difference in our daily life? Let's head to our favorite breakfast place, which is Kopitiam. So when my family and I went to Kopitiam, we often order coffees, and all of us have different orders. So my father will like kopi kurang manis. My grandfather will offer kopi all kosong, and me myself prefer either kopi ice or kopi itself. So after so many visits to Kopitiam since I was little, I think I know how to make a good coffee. So I will show you later. But before I tell you how to make a coffee, I just want to highlight that condensed milk that we are going to use later contains sugar as well. It is made up from milk and sugar, and in comparison, in 30 ml of condensed milk, it actually contains approximately 50 grams of sugar. So are you guys ready for some coffee making? I bet you do. So let us bring in all our cups. This is for kopi o kosong. This is for kopi kurang manis. This is for the coffee. And this one last is for the kopi ice. Okay, I got all my cups in. And now let us bring in all the ingredient needed. The coffee powder, the condensed milk, and some hot water at the side. So are you guys ready? Okay. So let us start with the most simple one, which is a kopi o kosong. How can I make it? It is so simple that you just need 2 material. So first, I will get 1 scoop of coffee powder. Wow, it smells good. Okay, this is so refreshing. 1 scoop of the coffee powder. Then I'm going to pour in Do you see the level here? I actually level all the solution on the cup itself because I already measured it with 300 ml of hot water. So that I wouldn't spend more time here. So I'm just going to pour in the water. This is so simple, so direct. So I just give it a bit of swirl, and here you go. You have the kopi or kosong. All right. Second one, we have kopi kurang manis, the favorite of my father. So I'm just bringing my coffee powder, 1 scoop. This essence is perfect. Here you go. 1 scoop of coffee powder. And next, I'm going to bring in the hot water to the level. One scoop of the condensed milk. Give it a bit of swirl. Okay, this is my kopi kurang manis. So next, we shall have our kopi. Same, 1 scoop of coffee. (300 ml). One second. 2 scoops of the condensed milk. A little bit of swirl. It might take longer because I got 2 scoops of condensed milk this time. This is my favorite. Right now, next which is the coffee ice. Same, I'm gonna put the same recipe like coffee. 1 scoop. And the hot water here. Perfect, 300. And now, same, 2 scoops of condensed milk. This is, and it's one last special, which is to make coffee ice. How can you not including the coffee ice into it? So I'm going to put in some ice into it. Okay. Now good, if you're doing it, you should pour it one by one. Wow. I'm going to put more. Now you have all 4 coffees ready. From the left, I have the kopi o kosong, my grandfather's favorite, but I don't like it. And the second one is kopi kurang manis, which is a bit sweeter, and a coffee and the coffee ice. Cool? So can you tell me which coffee from all 4 of this having the lowest concentration of sugar? So can you arrange the coffee according to the concentration of the sugar from the lowest to the highest? If you know the answer, please answer it in the comment section. And if you are not, no worries. You have 5 seconds. I'm just going to keep up my table for a bit and while you think about the answer, all right? So, great. So the one with the lowest concentration or the 0 concentration of sugar will be the kopi o kosong because it does not contain any condensed milk or the sugar itself. That's why it is the lowest. But this is the one I don't like the most. And the second one, which is having a little bit more concentration of sugar, which is the kopi kurang manis. It has 1 scoop of condensed milk, which means it also contains a bit of amount of the sugar itself. Now, lead us to the two left here, which is the kopi and also the kopi ice. Both of them having the same amount of condensed milk, the coffee powder as well as the water. So which one has the higher concentration of sugar? So if you know the answer, please leave it in the comment section. If you are not, don't worry, we will come back to this later. Yes, since we all know the recipes of the coffee making now, and do you ever wonder why we are learning concentration? So first, it will be talking about the replicable chemical reaction. So it means that something we can repeat if we know the concentration. So for example, the uncle in Kopitiam make the same drink for you every time you order it. And it tastes exactly the same because the uncle knows that what amount of sugar he should put in, what's the amount of solvent he need to put in to give you the same taste. And next, chemical testing. What does concentration play its role in chemical testing? Have you ever thought about it? Yes, it will help us to identify the concentration, which could be risky or dangerous to the users. For example, we use chlorine to clean our swimming pool. Once cleaned, we will actually test out the concentration of chlorine in the water, the pool water. So if it exceeds the standard, we will have to do the neutralizing solution to reduce the chlorine amount, or else this excess chlorine concentration will irritate the skin or even the pool condition. So to be accurate in concentration, we are going to do some maths. So concentration again is the amount of solute in the defined volume. Therefore, the formula is shown in the slide now. It is mass of solute divided by the volume of solution. As I'm very bad at maths, I will use this visual a lot to help me memorize this formula. So on the slide, on the right-hand side, there's a picture where on top it is a spoon holding the solute. This represents the mass of solute. And at the bottom of the spoon, we have a cup of solution, which refers to the volume of solution. I hope this visual helped you. So now let's try it together. I have a younger sibling at home where my mother will ask me to make 100 ml of milk using 50 grams of the formula powder. So this time our solute will be the formula powder. So can you remember what is the formula now? It is the mass of solute divided by the total volume of the solution. So here comes the calculation. It will be 50 grams of the formula divided by 100 ml. Now I will convert the 100 ml into the unit liter, which is 0.1 liter. This will give us the answer 500 grams per liter. So did you make it correct? So if you are correct, awesome. If you are not, maybe you can try it later. Perhaps you miss out something. If you still remember our kopitiam scene, we have not marked the highest and the second highest sugar concentrated coffee. As we meet the kopi ice and the kopi gao, using the same amount of sugar, condensed milk, and also the coffee, this is it. So what could change the concentration this time? It will be the solution. So just now, I mentioned that all the volume of hot water was level at this length. Here you go. There's a line beside. So, but for kopi ice, the water seems to be increased because when ice melts, it increases the solution volume. So this time, the volume actually exceeds the line here. So it means the solution has the higher volume, which also reduces the concentration of sugar in the kopi ice. It does not mean that it has less solute in the overall, but right now it will give the order like this. The lowest one will be kopi o kosong, the second one will be kopi kurang manis, The third one will be coffee ice, followed by the coffee. So that's all for our coffee making session. And we have learned a lot of concentration using this coffee. So next, until now, we have actually gone through a huge part of today's sessions. Are you guys ready for a little bit of break to get some water to get rehydrated? So let's get our eyes off the screen for 2 minutes. And in these 2 minutes, you may find a solution with the highest sugar content in your surroundings as our challenge of the day. And your 2 minutes starts now. Let's go. Welcome back. The 2 minutes is up. Do you think 2 minutes is too little? Did you find any solution in your house that contains a lot of sugars? If you have, please drop it in the comment section. And right now, I'm going to show you the one I found in my home. So it is, ta-da! It is Coca-Cola. I mean, I got this during Chinese New Year and I haven't drank it because I'm going to drink it on a special day. So, have you ever wondered what's the sugar concentration of a Coca-Cola? That's why I'm going to bring up the next slide, which is about the nutritional label of the Coca-Cola. So in a Coca-Cola can, it is having 355 ml, and in it, there's 39 grams of sugar. So can you tell me what is the concentration of sugar in this Coca-Cola? So again, the formula is measure of the solid, which is sugar, over the volume of the solution. So are you guys ready for the calculation? I bet you are. Let's go. So the concentration of sugar of Coke will be 39 grams divided by 355 ml, which is also the same as 0.355 liter. This will give us the concentration of sugar as 109.85 grams per liter. So in 1 liter of water or 1 liter of Coca-Cola, it will mean we will have 109.85 grams of sugar. Do you know how much it is? So let me show you how much it will be if for 109 grams of sugar. So here comes my weighing skills. And next, I'm going to bring in a beaker. I put it on. And let me tare this weight to 0 so that I will only weigh the sugar later. So I'm going to put in 109. So wait a moment. This is the sugar. And here you go. We have 50 now, 70, 85, 93, a bit more, 102, 16, 109. Whew. This is a lot. Can you see this is 109 grams of sugar? So if you drink 1 liter of Coca-Cola, you are actually consuming this much of sugar. So should we give our kids or our children to drink Coca-Cola? Let us find out next. So according to the Ministry of Health, kids under the age of 11 years old only needs 20 gram of sugar for their daily intake. So if we give them Coca-Cola, would it be a good choice? No, because the Coca-Cola actually contains the 39 grams. It is more than enough for a children below 11 years old. And what will happen if they take in excess of sugar? It will eventually lead to overweight for the kids. And what would get worse will be they will get diabetes if they continue this kind of excess sugar intake. So diabetes for now, there's no cure. That's why we want to reduce the sin. So again, I would like to warn that in Malaysia, our country actually has the second highest child obesity rate among the children aged 5 to 19 years old in the Asian countries. According to UNICEF statistics as well, out of 100 kids under 5, there will be at least 7 of them are overweight. If you don't care about sugar intake, this rate could get even higher. So as a reminder to take note of your daily sugar intake and keep yourself active by exercising and drinking more water. Phew, what a heavy topic we have until now. So let us come back to concentration. Previously, we used Nutritional Label to calculate concentration of sugar in Coca-Cola. So what if we don't have the Nutritional Label to help us calculate? And the solutions appears to be transparent, therefore we are unable to indicate the color, like how we can indicate the Ribena solution based on the color. So are we going to taste the solution one by one and compare them? Or is there any alternatives that could help us to calculate the concentration or identify it? Yes, we do. And it is mass spectrometry. These techniques quantify the molecules within a sample. And with that, let's watch a video that introduces briefly about mass spectrometry. Let's go.
While chromatography separates compounds depending on their chemical and physical properties, mass spectrometry, or mass spec as it is commonly known, reveals a compound's molecular weight. In a mass spectrophotometer, a beam of electrons bombards a single chemical sample with enough energy to break apart molecules. The fragments produced are propelled through a magnetic field and automatically sorted according to their mass and charge. An ion detector collects and records the fragments, producing a graph showing the mass-to-charge ratio of each. To analyze the information and deduce the structure of the original molecule, a scientist must work backward, reassembling the fragments on paper. When all goes well, they fit together like puzzle pieces to reveal the composition of the original sample.
So what an informative video you have just watched. So in the last part of the videos, graphs are actually generated to allow us to identify the abundance of molecule in the sample. So now on the slide, it shows a snapshot of the components of the mass spectrometry. So from the left, the sample is inserted, and when the electron beam hits the sample, it gets vaporized into ions. The ions will get accelerated in the magnetic channels and reach the detector. Ions with different masses will move differently, just like how it shows inside the video. So what can this mass spectrometry do for us? it has quite some application. First, it helps us by identifying unknown substances. So even if we don't know what the substance is, we can still figure it out with mass spectrometry. Next, we could use mass spectrometry to help us quantify the amount of known substance so that I don't have to calculate the Coca-Cola. I could just drop the Coca-Cola as a sample to my mass spectrometry. So they will calculate for me. Last but not least, to determine the structure and the chemical properties of the substance. Since we have gone through the short introduction of mass spectrometry, have you thought about its industrial applications? So the first one will be environment. Environment field scientists use this technique of mass spectrometry to test the water at our water source, also at the water plant to check if it's safe to drink before it is being sent to the household. Besides, it also works for agricultural, as we want to know whether the land is fit for plantation by checking the pesticide screening and soil contamination. So that's all for environment. How about forensics? What can mass spec do for forensics? In a crime scene, the inspector will collect samples and send them to the forensics analyst. So the analyst will help identify the trace element in the sample and also to identify the explosives being used in the crime scene itself. And last, mass spec is also applied in the pharmaceuticals industry. It helps us to discover drug. The research scientists carry out mass spectrometry to check the substance that makes our drug and also to check whether the concentration is sufficient for the targeted users. All drugs nowadays need to go through multiple trials in order to prove its safety and efficiency. There are more industries applying mass spectrometry in their operations. Do share with me if you know any of it. So this is almost the end of today's sessions about concentration. We have covered from solution, concentration, sugar intake, as well as the mass spectrometry. So next, at 10 a.m. tomorrow, you may test out your knowledge in the quiz, The Sweetest Challenge. The details of the quiz will be posted onto the Facebook page of Penang Science Cluster, and the quiz will only be open for 24 hours. So please, to submit the quiz before 11 March 2021, 10 a.m. So thank you all for tuning in today Lab Online session. If you would like to access the slide just now, please scan the QR code or access the link below for the slides. And before we end, I would like to shout out a big thank you to the American Tech Corner for supporting our Lab Online program. So don't forget to answer the quiz tomorrow. And next week, stay tuned for the topics of the waves. So I'm Wen Yun. Goodbye. See you next time.